Welcome to our video lesson on dividing fractions. Before we start talking about dividing fractions, I want to quickly review what you discovered yesterday in our investigation. So yesterday you took 3 circles and you divided them in half each. So we had 3 circles and then we cut them in half, one each of them. And we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So that means that 3 divided by half actually gives us 6. When you added a fourth, you saw that when you divided it in half, you ended up with 8 pieces. So 4 divided by a half must be 8. When you did it with 5, you got 10. So 5 divided by a half must be 10. And with 6, you got 12. So 6 divided by a half is a 12. Hopefully you started to notice some patterns. If 4 divided by a half is 8, and 5 divided by a half is 10, and 6 divided by a half is 12, then this dividing by a half must be somehow related to multiplying by 2, because 4 times 2 would be equal to 8. And 5 times 2 is equal to 10. And the last one, 6 times 2 is equal to 12. This is all very, very interesting. In our video, or when we're dividing with fractions, it is related to multiplying. It's related to multiplying the reciprocal. In order for you to understand what that means, let's talk about what a reciprocal is. Reciprocals are 2 numbers who have a product of 1. So reciprocals are 2 numbers if when you multiply them together, because product means multiplication, if when you multiply them together we get 1. Alright, the reciprocal of 2/3 is actually 3 halves. Now let's check if this is true or not. We can check by checking to see when we multiply them together if we get 1. 2 times 3 gives us 6, and 3 times 2 also gives us 6. And when we have a number over itself, it means we have 6 pieces of something divided into 6 parts, which is equal to 1 whole. So 2/3 and 3 halves are reciprocals. 4/9 it's not equal. 4/9. Its reciprocal is 9/4. Okay, hopefully you're noticing the pattern. The reciprocal of 1/5 is 5/1. The pattern is that we flip it. A reciprocal is just the numbers flipped. Now for 5/1, we're not finished with this one yet. Any number that has a denominator of 1 can also be just written as that number. So reciprocal of 1/5 is actually 5. Now it's your turn. On your guided note, it says my pairs of reciprocals is, or you are going to write your own pair of reciprocals in the little box there. Okay, let's connect this back to what we were doing yesterday. So yesterday we saw that 4 divided by a half was equal to 8. And we just learned that the reciprocal of a half would be 2/1, or just 2. Hopefully you can connect that 4 stays the same. We have 4 divided by 1/2. If we multiply 4 times our reciprocal of a half, which is 2, we will get 8. That works the same way for 5 divided by a half and 6 divided by a half. So here's the trick for dividing fractions. For dividing fractions, you find the reciprocal of the second fraction. Then you multiply the first fraction and the reciprocal and simplify. Let's do this first example together. We have 5/10 divided by 5/6. Okay, my first step is to find the reciprocal of 5/6. The reciprocal of 5/6 is 6/5. So that means that I would have 5/10, and now we multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 6 fifths. Make sure you pay close attention. This isn't the same fraction here. It's the reciprocal of it. When we multiply them, we multiply just like we always have. 5 times 6 is 30, and 10 times 5 is 50. And now we're going to simplify. The greatest common factor of 30 and 50 is 10, so this will give me 3/5. So when we're dividing by a fraction, we're actually going to turn it into a multiplication question. Let's do another example. Here we have 9/16 divided by 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to find the reciprocal of our second fraction. We have 9/16 times whatever the reciprocal of 3/4 is. The reciprocal is 4/3. And 9 times 4 gives me 36. Now 16 times 3 I'm going to do over here. 3 times 6 is 18, and 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So now I have 36 over 48. I need to find their greatest common factor. The factors of 36 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. And the factors of 48 are 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, and 48. So it looks like their GCF is 12. So we're going to divide both those numbers by 12. Well, 36 divided by 12 gives me 3, and 48 divided by 12 gives me 4. So that means that 9/16 divided by 3/4, divided by 3/4 is actually 3/4, which may seem kind of funny, because if we're dividing by 3/4, how can we end up with an answer that's 3/4? And tomorrow, we'll talk about that some more. The next problem here, we have a word problem. Whenever you see the word problem, the first thing you're going to do is cube it. So let's circle my numbers in units. Underline my important math words, and box the question, and then eliminate unimportant information. Okay, let's read it. You have 7 cups of bird feed, and you use 2/3 of a cup of seed each week. How long will your bird seed last? So we have 7 cups, and we are going to divide it into 2/3 of a cup. So we need to see how long we can keep it on going on for. 7, it doesn't look like a fraction. Whenever you have a whole number, you can write it as a fraction with a denominator of 1. So this is 7 over 1 divided by 2/3. Okay, so we're going to keep our first one the same, change to multiplication, and take the reciprocal. This is going to give us 21/2. Now I need to simplify this. So I'm going to convert this into a mixed number. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. I get 0, and I have a remainder of 1. Oh, and I forgot to put my 0 up here. So that means that I have 10 and 1/2. So that means that my birdseed will last 10 and 1/2 weeks. All right, that's all for now. Now I want you to go out and practice the skill, and we're going to come back to some more details on it tomorrow.